Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for supporting this new channel. I really do appreciate everyone who has subscribed. It is great to see that it's getting some traction, which is fantastic. So today I got sent an email with a video from Danny Kruger, and he's an MP, and he gave a very impassioned speech in the House of Commons to very few people. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 people in the House apart at that time. So it was a speech to no one really, but it has been picked up obviously online. And there is a YouTube video of the whole speech, which is about 9 minutes long, which I'm going to leave down in the comments section if you want to look at it yourself. Now, his speech primarily was about Christianity in this country, and I'm not going to talk about religion or faith or who you believe or anything like that, or if you believe, because that's not really something that I should or could tell other people about. It's a very personal thing, and so that's not really the side of the discussion I want to cover. But some of the things he did talk about were very interesting. In particular, he talked about the situation with the pensioners and the winter fuel payments. He talked about disability cuts and things like this, which he opposed to. And he said that we are, as a country, he thinks that we are becoming morally bankrupt, if you like. We're kind of failing morally as a country, because we're not looking after the vulnerable, we're not looking after the elderly, we're not looking after the disabled as we should do. And he put it down to a lack of Christian values. But I just wanted to put it as something perhaps a little bit wider than that. Perhaps it's just a lack of values in general, because ever since the cuts came about, the disability cuts and the vote on that, ever since then the media has been really hammering disabled people and going on and on about people with this condition can claim a free car, people with that condition claim a free car. There's always talk about taxing pensioners and about the triple lock and things like this. So it seems as though, as a country, and certainly as a party, I would say Labour are one of the worst at this, although the Conservatives aren't much better. They always look at the most vulnerable people and the people who are at the lowest ebb and the lowest run of the ladder. They always look at the ones who are those when it comes to cuts and when it comes to taking money out of the system. It's usually always from the lowest people, the disabled and the vulnerable and the elderly. Now, of course, not all the elderly are vulnerable and on low incomes. Of course, I know that. Not all disabled people are on low incomes. I understand that as well. But it does seem that they target those on the lowest run of the ladder, which has always been the case, really. Whenever there's been a crisis of finances, it's always been the poorest that have suffered. It's always been those on benefits who've had money taken away, or the pensioners that have had money taken away, or taxes added to their income and things like this. It's always been that way. And I think one of the reasons why they do that is because they know that there's no comeback. That these people can't do anything about it. People have talked about a wealth tax and taxing people above a certain pay grade, or people who have a certain amount of assets. And while that would work, I think it also means that you're then tempting people who earn that much to leave the country, and a number have left the country. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Labour Party haven't gone down that route. One, because obviously they have a lot of friends who are very wealthy and they don't want to do that to some of their friends and donors perhaps. But also I think they're very mindful of the fact that if you tax someone who's very rich, they're just going to go to another country where they're not going to be taxed as much. So it leaves the vulnerable people, those who can't go out of the country, those who can't decide on what they're going to do because they don't have the money to do it, and they're always the ones that find out the hard way when there's trouble financially. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section on this. Do you think as a country we are now becoming morally bankrupt? Do you think that we are at a time where there's a huge amount of negativity towards the most vulnerable people in our society? And what do you think could be done, either from terms of the government or anything else? what do you think could be done to stop that from happening, and why do you think it's happening? Is it because of a culture change? Culturally, are we now looking down on disabled and vulnerable people again, as has been in the past? Or is there some other reason? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section about this. Give me a little insight into what you think. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you are having a good day. Please do subscribe if you've got this far to help push the channel forward, and I'll see you next time.